What's going on, Don't Unfriend Me Nation? Matthew Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me Show. Sorry about yesterday. Xfinity was redoing all of our lines and getting amazing, beautiful, high-speed internet so they could charge us even more money. And I will say it's pretty fantastic. It's faster than it was, and that's important to me. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing well. I get emails from time to time. People will give me things that aren't necessarily out in the open, or they'll see a video on TikTok and they'll want my opinion. And I guess this just comes with the territory. My opinion, just like everybody, is it's just an opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. And that's the one thing we try to do on the show is offer facts, and we pick apart the facts. And when we say, hey, this is my opinion, it really doesn't matter what you say. Nobody cares. It's just your emotional feelings about something. And I don't think opinion is the most important thing in the world. I wish people would have more factual understandings of things, and I think we would be well better off. But once again, that's an opinion, I guess, too. Let's go ahead and roll this and watch this in 15 seconds right after this.
Do you want the truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more f***ed up than the lies on the evening news? Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends.
Still Point, STIILPOINT, favorite band of the Don't Unfriend Me Show, playing there. You can find them on iTunes. I almost undercut the entire show. It's like, well, folks, I'm going to do an opinion video, but you shouldn't listen to my opinion. Thanks. Good night. Have a good one. This is the Angry Millennial, and my thoughts are there any other kind? No, that's not true. I know plenty of millennials. They're fine people on both sides. I had the pleasure of working with tens of thousands of millennials at Apple, and I'll tell you that there's not much difference between them and us. They have an opinion. They're going to give it to you, and as long as their mom and dad are there, and they're not any more of crybaby, unfocused, undisciplined brats than we were. I just think that they have a little bit of entitlement, but I think we also had arrogance. Everyone has their drawbacks. Everyone has their strengths, and I think they're an extremely intelligent group. And they're able to pick up things a lot faster than my generation did because of their ability to grow up with massive innovation and technology. There are some nice things I said. I think they dress really weird, but I guess we did as well. I wore T-shirts and I had a chain out of my pocket. And I was like rockabilly. Some people found that to be weird. I know my grandparents did. My mom and dad did. So everyone has their ups and downs. So now that I've prefaced that, I'm preparing myself. I haven't seen this video, and I'm looking at her, and this is pretty much every video I've seen over the last few years. They're all the same, and I want to be pleasantly surprised, but she does look like a short-haired Anna Faris. That's my first reaction. Let's listen to what she has to say.
Don't provide services to police officers. We're going to talk about it today. Hi, I'm Eddie, hairstylist in Portland, Oregon. I've had to inform.
Okay, I don't know her name, but it said Harris. We're just going to go ahead and say that it's Anna Faris. And this is actually her, and she now has a haircutting shop. She says she doesn't service police officers and Leos and such, which immediately, my first reaction is she's a business owner, which is fine. That's a great thing. Young, has her own business, good for her. Would like to hear her reasoning on why she doesn't provide service to Leos.
This role recently, and I wanted to talk about it because I want people to know the why behind it. I am one of many people I know that don't provide their services, whether it be hair or something else, to people who participate in law enforcement. So that's not only police officers, but maybe that is guards in prisons and people that work for ICE and things like that.
Well, we've got to expand. What about security guards, right? What about neighborhood watch? What about people who volunteer? What about constables? What about people who in San Francisco have districts that are really civilians who just enforce the law? What about the mall security guard, like I said, or a person at a bank? Do those people count? So we're expanding here. And then we have to consider, what about family of Leo? What about 911 dispatchers? What about ambulance drivers and EMTs and firefighters? I mean, you're really ostracizing a very large group here. So as a business owner, certainly within your right, but I don't know if it's the smartest thing. I think I'm going to like this video.
I would like to take a quick second to say that the things I'm about to express are my beliefs and why.
I think self-awareness is important in people. And I can tell you right now that this lady's a chatty Cathy, and so am I, because, game recognizes game. But you're not going to take a second. I have the utmost confidence that you're going to take more than that.
I choose to do this. That might not be why everybody chooses to do this, but this is why I choose to do it this way. The reason I want to talk about it is because recently that rule was enforced, and I think that when
Now, there's something in the lower left-hand side of her glasses, and I'm blind as a bat, so I can't see it. I think it's a tag that you would use as an app. You know, they put tears on your face and stuff, and it's her tag for her channel. I don't see it floating around. Oh, there is one in the lower right-hand corner, but you can hardly see it. I think it's actually an overlay. I don't know why that's important. I just figured I would tell you. So if you're really interested, zoom in, because I'm not going to do it. I can't see the damn thing.
people hear that rule, they think that it's like a FU rule. I personally don't like cops, and so I'm not going to provide service to them because but that's actually not the reason. There are plenty of people who I do not agree with on many topics.
This may be a face tattoo at this point. I'm more interested in what the hell's on the glasses, but it doesn't look like, it looks like one of those peel-in sticks that you have on glasses before you buy them at the optometrist. But okay, now I got to figure it out.
That I will still provide hair services to. It is not a prerequisite for me that you
I don't know. I'm gonna say it's a face tattoo. I don't know. You know what? This isn't why you stop by.
agree with everything that I think to come get your hair done by me. However, one of the things I absolutely want to prioritize is the mental health and safety of all of my clients. In this chair, all textures are welcome, all gender expressions are welcome, no matter who you are. I am going to try my darndest.
Except for cops.
Though I am only a
What if someone identifies as a police officer, but they're not really a police officer? Does that count?
human.
And you know what? She looks like you remember Black Bart in the Christmas Story, you know, with the Red Ryder BB gun and Black Bart and all those guys come over the fence. She looks like that. And then she has the two X's over her eyes when Black Bart shoots him in the butt and the canaries go over their heads. You remember that? That's what she was dressed like. 1940s copper, see?
Make this space accessible to you. And being dedicated to showing up like that for my clients can look a lot of different ways. For me, it looks like making sure that I spend money and time and education on learning how to cut all different textures of hair. I make sure I'm vocal about things that I believe in that are important to me. And one of those things, yes, does mean not allowing members of law enforcement to be in my space. Not just because I don't like them, not even most importantly for that reason.
I thought she started the video saying it wasn't because she didn't like them. Now it's okay. So we've got it. This is the truth. She doesn't like cops. She doesn't like people who support cops. Fine. I know a lot of people who feel that way. That's great. You're a business owner. You have every right. Just like the Colorado cake situation where the Christian organization that was family-driven, family-run, that used all sorts of events like weddings and birthdays and everything, bar mitzvahs, and made cakes for everybody, decided that they didn't want to make a cake for a homosexual couple. And this went to the Supreme Court. This was huge. This was big. And I support their right to feel that way. If they want to be a bigot, they can be a bigot. That's fine. If they want to use and hide behind theology, they can do that. You're obviously hiding behind some very big glasses with something going on in the cheek. And I do think it's a tattoo at this point. And you're hiding behind your hatred for cops. There's nothing wrong with that. You can dislike or hate anyone you want. What you don't get to do is stand upon the mountain and tell us how morally sound you are and judge everyone else and castigate aspersions on everybody simply because they don't think what you think. And I don't see her doing that. She's just saying, hey, I don't want cops in my building. Here's why.
Most importantly, because I truly and deeply believe that by a member of law enforcement being in a space, they are actively making it unsafe for others in a community. Traditionally, and there is already so much evidence on it, so I'm not going to sit here and argue with you.
I love that. I have so much evidence, but I'm not going to tell you any of it. Instead, I'm just going to expose my emotions and feelings all over this video and not giving you something that could actually change your mind. So I'm just going to tell you, you're going to have to trust me. We call that trust me bro evidence on the internet, and this is definitely a trust me bro. Or j'aime jure. I don't know if she would actually say bro because it's probably racist to say bro. Interesting point about having evidence but not giving it. Just wanted to point that out.
Members of law enforcement massively unfairly target Black people, people of color, the queer community, the neurodivergent, sex workers, and so on. And those are my...
Wait a second. Sex workers, that's breaking the law. So there's one. I don't know what the hell neurodivergent is unless you break the law and don't think you do. And you're essentially going off the path of thinking that you're doing something wrong, so therefore you shouldn't be. So those people deserve to be in jail too. And I'm sorry, but to sit here and say that cops target disproportionately black people to white people, well, that's an absolute fallacy when it comes to black people break the law more than white people. I hate to say it. 13% of the population is responsible for 51% of the violent crime in the United States. I don't know what to tell you. White people are responsible too, but there's a hell of a lot more white people. So how about we do this? How about cops target criminals and you don't like the numbers, but targeting queer people and gay people, that's what I haven't heard before. But, once again, just lumping it all together to explain why you don't like police officers. What would be better if you had some anecdotal evidence to tell a story and then support that with empirical data, which you said you had, but unfortunately you're not going to present it because I guess you ran out of time because 3.5 minutes wasn't long enough.
People, those are the people that sit in my chair. Every single one of those things describes the people in my chair, and I love them, and I want this space to be safe for them. So by inviting somebody who participates in law enforcement and allowing that person access to the information they could get from just coming to see me and being around those types of people is not worth it to me. It is not worth risking the safety of my clients to have people like that in my space. You don't have to agree with that. You absolutely don't. I have had a few gray area kind of things, like if somebody is married to a police officer, how fair is it to judge somebody for the actions of their spouse? That is a hard one. Currently, the only people I will not serve directly are members who have chosen to serve in law enforcement of some kind, but it has way less to do with my personal beliefs on the matter and more to do with my concern for the safety of the people that I have in my chair, because that is one of the most important things to me.
Great. I don't have anything else to add. Good for you. You have a business. You have every right to choose who you service and who you don't. And although I think there's lines of delineation between saying, hey, you're black, I won't serve you, and hey, you're a cop and I won't serve you. I don't know why either of those are okay, but once again, I support your right as a business owner to be a bigot. There's nothing wrong. And in fact, the word bigot has changed, and just like every word has changed when it comes to Democrats taking something and trying to make everything racist or xenophobic or homophobic. Bigot just means you know better, but you choose to go ahead and do it anyway. Versus stupidity, which means you don't want to know better, even though you know there's a better option out there, and yet you remain ignorant to it ad nauseum. So she's not stupid. I wouldn't even say ignorant, but bigot is fair. There's nothing wrong with saying that. You don't like cops because they are police officers. I also love how she was self-aware enough to say, what about wives and spouses? That's a tough one for me. So listen, out of all the videos that I've watched, I guess I got to rate this or something. I mean, I feel like I'm Dave Portnoy.
That looks really good. We're getting some pizza now. Good undercarriage. 7-8. Really good.
Nice undercarriage. It's got a little bit of grease in the middle. It's a little floppy and too much cheese. Let's go ahead and give this a try. One bite, everybody knows the rules. One bite, everybody knows the rules. I'll give it a 8.5. I'll give it an 8.5. I think that's a fair score. I think it's a little bit of a rookie score. I think I didn't go ahead and land on a 0, and I didn't just give it a score that was just trying to be nice. An 8.5 because there is nothing wrong with what she said. And you may not like the way she looks. You may not agree with what she said. Well, great. You don't have to get a haircut by her. And let's face it, you're not going to go talk to her anyway because she's going to freaking bang your ear for 45 minutes for a 5-minute haircut. I just want you to go ahead and raise the ears and get me out of the chair. I have a feeling that she wouldn't like me either. And that's okay because I wouldn't go and get a haircut from that lady. I believe that anyone who can't cut their own hair shouldn't be cutting mine. That's just my personal opinion. Thanks for watching. I hope this message finds you good. Good for you, young lady. Have your business. Capitalism rocks. Let's make sure you're giving at least 90% of your paycheck to somebody else because remember, you didn't earn it. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. You can also watch tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll be back with Olivia, myself, and Amy live at 7. You can find it across The Dumb Show, and you can stop by thedumbshow.com, read our blog, and all that other stuff. There's some fun stuff over there. Thanks so much. Talk to you soon.
Adjusting transmitter output. This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.